I think generally most of the other culture, they will, some of them are allowed to pick a date, and they name their child. But the Edo one, I think, particularly is what I'm very versatile with, and particularly because I think they maybe in those days there might be high mortality. I'm suspecting that that might be why they wait that long, because I actually did not understand why they wait that long for them to name the child. But I believe that it's possibly caused by high mortality rates of children in those days, that they want to be sure the child will be alive, for the naming ceremony. And then maybe after it might have gone through that 3 months period, the likelihood of infant death is smaller, and that's what I think might have caused the naming ceremony to be that delayed in Asian land.
Is there any traditions around the actual names? How the names after the pseudonym, when they get their name they're going to keep, is...
Yes. When they decide that they're going to name the child and they put a date on, then the families are called. If you're not living within your village, villagers are called, your friends are called, and then they bring items to pray for this child. Some of the items might be kola nut, which means respect, and then they have the what do you call the coconut, and they'll shake it, because when you shake a coconut, you hear the water is inside, and sometimes they'll put something. For example, people will be hearing about you and nobody can harm you. And the kola nut, because of you are a child of such beauty, you always have respect. That's why we're using this kola nut for you. And then they bring the the powder, white powder for chalk from the sea, and they will put that, as white as this powder is, that's how you be, and you'll be clean and you'll be cleansed. And so they associate a lot, like alligator pepper. They can go, the alligator pepper has so many seeds inside. Your wealth, your knowledge, everything you have in your life will be like this. And they'll bring maybe the cowries, and the cowries used to be our monetary lingual stuff in those days. So you will be rich and you have money, and this will be used in praying for you to have money. So, but the Yorubas now extend theirs to beans, food items more extensively than the Asian culture. With the Yoruba now, they bring the beans to say you eat beans, you get bigger. I think they must have had real knowledge of protein more than some other cultures, and they emphasize on a lot of their beans for the children, and they feed them a lot of beans so, and they pray with that for the children. And then they also have this alfalfa leaf in the Yoruba that they sometimes also use, and they pray about it, because the alfalfa is supposed to wash. They use it to wash the children, and it's actually supposed to cleanse them. But from talking to other people, they say it actually has medicinal value, that if you have measles and things like that, you can use alfalfa for it. So they associate a lot of all these items that they have day to day around them with the spirituality of how they want that child to be. And after the prayers, for the initiation, everybody is allowed to pray. So people will come up forward, friends, families, strangers. If they come up, they'll pray for the child, because they say you don't have enough prayers. The more prayers, the better. And then when it comes to the time to name the child, normally the oldest might defer it to the actual father of the child, because in Asian land, they'll throw the child up, and they'll throw the child up to about 7 times, very high up, and catch the child. And then they'll say, welcome to this world. And we are all welcoming you to this world. And everybody now will start giving a name to this child. And then the final person, if the honor is on the father, or the father has given that honor to his father or any of the elders in the community, they will come up and say, my name and the name I give this child is this. Normally in Asian land, we have 2 names. We now give English names as we give the traditional names. In my village, most people call me my traditional name, which is Ajehiegbe. My father actually chose by himself to call me Josephine, which is my English name. So most people will allow people to name the traditional names, maybe in different language. My brother, for instance, one of my oldest brother, was named Abiodun, and it's a Yoruba name because we were living in Yoruba land, and that name stuck more than my name given by my father, which was the Isha name. And we all knew Jude, who was the English name, as Abiodun, which is born in the time of celebration because he was born on Christmas Eve. So the people living close to my mom came and called him Abiodun. So that's what will normally happen, and we'll see. Sometimes the name the parents give will stick, and sometimes it doesn't. And whatever name is more popular is what the child then answers.